tell you where the location it is. It is a part of Africa, and within Africa, it is the river that I have selected. It crosses two countries. Here is Ethiopia and here is Somalia. So the river that I'm dealing with now is called Shabelle Basin, that we are going to do the modeling. So this is the boundary of the river, or the basin that I'm going to deal with. It has, this is the legend of the river. So we can see that the river has, it starts the mountainous regions and it ends, and it is water to the ocean. So it has an elevation of around 400,000 meters above the mean sea level. Here we can see that it is a sample of the location of the area that we are going to focus, the river. And again, we can see the elevation differences of the basin. We can see that it has very higher regions on these red places, and the blue one tells us the lowest point of the study area. So if we come to abstract, hydrological modeling, we know that it's very vital in water development and planning and flood inundation mapping. So in order to get that hydrological model, it requires consistent and precise precipitation measurement. So in most developing countries, including Ethiopia, lack of accurate rainfall measurement is always happening. So an option of changing that is going to be satellite-based precipitation project. And better rainfall estimation from precise precipitation, it gives us the better hydrological model performance. So the river, normally it's a transboundary river. It originates from Ethiopian highlands and it crosses to Somalia. And it has a limited study and hydrometeorological data. The study compares the meteorological station data collected from Ethiopian Meteorological Agency and SWALIM with satellite-based two precipitation products called GBM and Turbines. So ArcGIS and HMS were used for the study. And 14 years of precipitation data and discharge data were used for calibration and validation. The performance of the satellite precipitation product was evaluated using Nash determination of R, root mean square error, and percentage bias. So the study showed that HMS, the model that we have used, performed well and gave very good results for the hydrological model for both the satellite basin precipitation products of GERBIS and GBM Emerald. The study also concluded that the model outperformed well during the validation period because the data were divided into two. Part of the data were used to calibrate the model, and part of the data were used to validate the calibrated parameters. So overall, the study found that the simulated GBM Emerald, one of the satellites that we used during the study, gave better results than the simulated GERBIS. It concluded that one of the satellites gives us good result than the other. So even if we come to the introduction, normally we have here we know that the rainfall plays a vital role in the survival of humans, animal and plants. It describes the climate and water resources, but yet insufficient rainfall, it leads to drought, where excess rainfall brings flood. We have to see it. If we have insufficient rainfall, it means that we are going to get drought. If we get excess rainfall, again, it brings another problem, which is flooding. So more accurate rainfall estimation improves hydrological model performance. And thereon, the places like the developing countries, if the rainfall gauges are not placed well, it means that it will give us bad hydrological model performance. Therefore, if positioned correctly, the rainfall data, ground-based rain gauges give us very good result. But in developing regions, we know that misconfigured meteorological station impair hydrological model finding, where the recent studies on these regions recommend this remote sensing data like satellite-based precipitation products in order to avoid those missing data issues. So this study compares the ground-based data with two satellite precipitation products, and it uses a HMS model. A recent study in Ethiopia also is assessed three satellite-based precipitation data sets and it concluded that turbines performed best among them. But this study, our study, contradicted it, and it tells that GBM emerge gives us a better result. So if we come to the methodologies and materials and methods we use it for this study, the first one, we need to start with the data processing, like what data we use it for the study. Number one, we have used a digital elevation model, STRMDM 30 meter, and the aim we used this was to delineate the watershed, to know the boundary of the watershed, where this watershed, the catchment boundaries, and the link that is also available here. The other data that we used for the study was ground-based gauge stations. It like a specific period of rainfall data and discharge data from 2003 to 2016 were collected from Ethiopia and also Somalia, because of the river crosses two countries. Then 13 rain gauge stations were used to observe the data. We can see that this at 13 rain gauge is in Ethiopia, which is a country in Africa, and another one also is in the other.
I guess, Professor, some network issue came. We cannot see your presentation. Are we audible to you, Mr. Abdinur?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please restart screen sharing, sir.
Oh, good. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. Let me restart it. Sure. Is it visible right now, sir?
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Okay. So, sir, the other data was chip-based precipitation data, and it has downloaded from this website. Chip-based, it has different versions, but we use the latest version. And the data for this satellite precipitation project, it is available from January 1981 to the present. Again, the other satellite that we have used was GBM average precipitation data, and this one also, it has a resolution of 30 minutes and a spatial of 0.1 degree. So if we come to the HMS model that we have used, it means that we collected the data and we processed that data using GIS software. Then, in order to use the HMS software, it needed some parameters, it needed some data. The data that it needs is like river and watershed characteristics. It needs a hydrological input like the rainfall, the precipitation products. This is the model application and the input data. These input data are like weather, terrain, land cover, soil, and flow. Then, and also we used the satellite data of these two satellites called Chilbis and GBM Emerald. We also used the measured rainfall data on the ground. Then we compared the observed and the simulated flows of the hydrograph. It means that we have selected here at the outlet of our catchment. So we need to know the different. Here we do have measured rainfall, measured stream gauge. We need to compare this measured rain gauge, the results of this turbines and GBM emerge, and then we need to know the one that gives us a good result, so that when there's a missing data on the ground, we can use that satellite as alternative. That is the aim of this. And here, this one, it explains clearly the hydrological model. We have seen that it starts with the ArcGIS. We do some HMS modeling. We prepare HMS. This HMS, it has inputs like the characteristics of the basin, the river length, the river area, and so on. We need also to give meteorological model input data like the precipitation, snow, if possible. We need to give computational time steps. We need to define when to start and when to end the model. Also, within the components, it has different methods. It has loss method, it has transform method, and base flow method. It has the routing method, And finally, we need to get our output hydrograph to compare with the different resources that we get from the satellite and the ground data. So normally we have, this is the catchment that we have, and these are the rain gauge stations that we collected the data. So normally preliminary analysis based on the available data was done, like estimation of data, rainfall distributions were done using T-sum polygon. It means that this T-sum polygon, it will tell us the percentage that this rain gauge data, the percentage that it can cover, which means that now this river, this stream gauge here, and also rain gauge, it can cover an area of 25% according to the total area of the catchment. If we come to here, another statistical analysis, Somalia has, we have two main rainy seasons. It starts April and ends June. And again, we do have another rainy season, which starts from September to November. It means that these two rainy seasons, there are also another dry seasons. So here we can see that these two, from April to June, it's one rainy season. Then from July to September, there's a dry season. There is no rain at all. Then the rain starts again September, and also it ends at the end of November. If I try to come to the result and discussions, in order to compare the data, we need to do some model rating performances, because we are comparing three data. One is ground data and two satellite data. So here, the model performance, we have used it for a model evaluation performance. One is called NASH, and it has this formula. The other is called root mean square error, and also determination of coefficient and percentage of bias. Then comparing these four, we compare the three data based on these four performances. So to get the accurate data for this recommended statistical model performance rating, which means that if the result of NASH is in between 0.75 to 1, then that model, you can say it is very good, and the R is the same. If the model is in between, but if it gives you a result of 0.5 to 0.65, that model you can call it satisfactory. If it gives you a result of less than 0.5, then that model is unsatisfactory. So here we need to compare first the ground data to one satellite data called Turbines. Again, ground data to another satellite data called GBM-IMERS. Then we need to know the one that gives us very good results. And again, that one we can use it as an alternative. So these are the results. The first one is only the precipitation product. Before we do any hydrological model, we did some precipitation data comparisons. Here we have ground data, we have Turbines product, and we have GBM-IMERS. These two are the satellites. So from the mean of the data that we have, we can see that Turbines product, it underestimates, it gives us 90, where the ground data has 96. And again, the other satellite called GBM-IMERS project, it overestimates this, and it gives us a higher result, which means that there's some inconsistency here. And the data is in between from 2003 to 2016. That is the data that we have collected. Then we can see the result here. We have compared the ground in situ data with the Turbines product, the satellite product, and we got a determination R-square of 0.93 and NASH of 0.9. So it means that it has a very good result in terms of performance rating. Again, when we compare with the GBM-IMERS with the ground data, we got 0.8 and 0.79. Again, according to the table that we have seen it, which tells the comparison of the results. It tells us that both satellites, they give us a very good result when we compare the precipitation product. Let us go and compare it based on stream flow, like the discharge. So before we got that, I need to explain what the Turbines results, like this satellite data, it's mean monthly rainfall data. So it tells us here, in January, there's not that much rain, but in February, there's small rain on the highland, and there's small also rain on the lower land. Here you can see the legend. So normally we can see from March, April, and June, Also July and August, we have very good rain on the higher elevation of this. But when it comes to November and December, we see that the average precipitation that we are going to get is around 40. And here, this one, it tells us the elevation difference. It means that the top part, this top part has high elevation, where this one is the lower elevation. So from there, we can see that from January 2003 to December 2016 of the study area was downloaded from this satellite, and analysis were then using R. Here we can see it changed from highland to lower land. The typical monthly precipitation for the months of March to April and June, we see that it is in between 40 to 200 millimeters. November to December and January, these 3 months, they show us very low results. That's the one satellite. The other satellite, let's see it, the other satellite called GBM IMCCRT. This one also, it gives us quite different. We can see that November and December, it has higher rainfall than the other software when we compare. So it shows that higher precipitation from May to December, and again also from January to April. From January to April, we can see that there's a slight rainfall. If we go and look at the statistical analysis, like station gauge precipitation, we have done it time series data, monthly time series data, and annual time series data. So if we look at monthly, we can see that from March to May, there's a rise in the precipitation, and again from September to November, there is also another rise. So here, this one, it tells us for monthly time series and box plots, there's an increase in precipitation from March to May, which is one rainy season, because we have said we have two rainy seasons. One is here, and again, other one starts on September. This one was the gauge station, like the data collected on the ground. Let's also go and look at the two satellites. This one is the Chirby satellite, and figure 10 tells us GBM IMCCRT satellite. So again, we can see that in the annual box plots of these, they show us 525, 566, and 477 millimeter per year, which is this. The first one is the gauge, the rain gauge data, where the second one is the Jirbi, and the third one is GBM IMCCRT. So if we come to the conclusion, we can see that the model result is we divided the data into two: the data for calibration and the data for validation. It means that if we start here and see it, the model calibration result is we calibrated the data using January 2003 to 2009, and we see that if we compare the observed with the simulated, we get R square of 0.68. If we compare the simulated to the other two satellites, one gives us 0.66 and other it gives us 0.64. So in terms of table, if we look at the table, we can see that the MET station gives us good result, and again GBM IMCCRT gives us good result. Here, the Jirbis, it doesn't give us any good result. It gives us the satisfactory result. That one was the calibration data. If we come and see the model validation data again, we see that it gave us very good result of 0.78, 0.75, and 0.74. So if we come to the table, we can see that the MET station and the GBM IMCCRT data give us very good result, where the Jirbis data gives us a good result, which means that if the GBM IMCCRT data can be used as alternative data. These three also gives us the validation and calibration of the data. So clearly we can see how graphs match each other with the first satellite, the second satellite, and the rainfall data. So in conclusion, the HCMS model used this one, means that the HCMS gave us very good result. The data were collected between January 2003 to December, and it is divided into two. Part of the data is used for calibration, and the other second half is used for validation. The performances were used at Nash, R square, root mean square error, and percentage bias. And here we can see that the study found that HCMS model functioned very well and produced very good results for the GBIS and GBM IMCCRT rainfall product. According to the study, the model performed effectively over the validation period. Overall, the study discovered that the simulated GBM IMCCRT product outperformed the GBIS product. Acknowledging my PhD advisor, Professor Ahmed Bailar, And thank you very much for your time and listening. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, sir. I would like to request session chair if he is having any question to ask.
Yeah, hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Uh, it was a good presentation. The first thing I noticed in the presentation is the introduction part, the citations are missing. Like you are claiming something and some sort of researchers, they may have some sort of findings that citations are missing in the presentation. Second thing is that hello,
Yes, yes, sir.
and the second thing is that in the presentation you have come across some sort of result like good, very good, something like that. So my question is, how do you claim that this is a good and this is very good? Can
Thank
you
you very much,
justify
doctor.
more on this?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, doctor. I have submitted my full paper, and the citation is clearly shown in my full paper. So I did not mention it here because I was saying like it may take further time if I put more citations here. That is the
Okay.
question for the first question. The second one, there's a recommended table list from the researchers. Also, I cited within the paper. The good, very good, they defined this one. The researchers have agreed and they found a table. So I got that table from them also. So even that table is within my full paper and it has the citation. It has the researchers that have agreed with these results. Thank you, sir.
No, but my question is, why that particular row or column signifies that it is a good or very good? Which factors makes that particular parameter good or very good?
Definitely,
How you
yes.
will justify on this?
Yes, yes. It has, the model that I have used, it has so many parameters. It has moisture content, it has the roughness, it has the curve number. So all these parameters you will define, you will put some results. Then the final result, it is something called MASH. It will give you a result of in terms of percentage. So that percentage will tell you whether the result that you have found is in the limit or above the limit, or you overestimated or you underestimated. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, doctor.
Now moving toward our next presentation. Manuscript ID is IMCCRT 2023-4015. 4015. Title is
Hello.
Minority Women Empowerment through Government and Non-Government Organization. So I would request presenter to please share their screen.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, sir. I'm just sharing my slides. My topic of presentation is Minority Women Empowerment through Government and Non-Government Organization. I'm Iram Sir, the one who is presenting the paper, and the second author is Ashok Kumar, who is Associate Professor and my supervisor. Now let's start with the presentation. I will begin with abstract. Indian women are struggling for equality and the acceptance in a society which still hails men at the pinnacle of social hierarchy. Empowerment is a process whereby women become able to organize themselves, to increase self-reliance and to assert their independent right to make choice and control resources. Government of India has taken enough initiative to promote women empowerment by introducing different minorities, schemes, policies, which not only improves the social status of the female population, but also as a solution of different pillars like maternal mortality, female insecticide, female fertilizers on government organization, that is NGO and self-help group, play a very vital role towards women empowerment by providing basic education, vocational training, training for self-employment, legal aid, protection for women, and self-awareness program. Thus, they are mainly concerned with upliftment of the women society.
Iram ma'am, are you there? Hello. Hello. Iram Saif ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, your voice wasn't coming. You can continue, ma'am. Now your voice is coming.
Okay, sir. Now I'm going to introduce the various schemes which is launched by government, that is educational empowerment. In this comes scholarship schemes. In this there is many subparts like pre-matric scholarship schemes. This is scholarship at pre-matric level which encourage parents from minority communities to send their school-going children to school, lighten their financial burden on school education and sustain their efforts to support their children to complete school education. This scheme will form the foundation of their educational attainment and provide a level playing field in the competitive employment area. Next is post-matric scholarship scheme. The Prime Minister's new 5-point program for the welfare of minorities was announced in June 2006. It provides that a post-matric scholarship of scheme for meritorious students from minority communities would be implemented. The objective of the scheme is to award scholarship to meritorious students belonging to economically weaker section of minority communities so as to provide them better opportunities for higher education. Third point is merit cum means scholarship scheme. The objective of this scheme is to provide financial assistance to the poor and meritorious students belonging to minority communities to enable them to pursue professional and technical courses. Here is the different caste minority scholarship. The source is Ministry of Minority Affairs. Now the second is Maulana Azad in National Fellowship. This fellowship will cater the minority communities students pursue regular the full-time research studies leading to award MPhil and PhD degree within India only. This will Padho Pradesh scheme of interest subsidized on educational loan for overseas studies for the student belonging to the minority community. The objective of the scheme is to award interest subsidy to meritorious students belonging to the economically weaker section of notified minority communities notified under Section 2C of National Commission of Minorities Act. The scheme intends to provide better opportunities for higher education abroad and enhance the employability of students of minority communities. Here is the graph of the total number of scholarships given to students from minority communities between 2008 to 2012 to 13. The source is Ministry of Minority Affairs. Next is Naya Savera, free coaching and allied scheme. This scheme aimed to empower the students belonging to minority communities and prepare them for competitive examinations so that their participation in government and private job improves. The scheme provides financial support for free coaching to notified minority students in selected coaching institutions. Next is Nai Udan. The objective of the scheme is to provide financial support to the minority candidates clearing prelims conducted by Staff Selection Commission. Economic empowerment. Here comes in this the Ministry of Minority Affairs seeks to facilitate inclusive development in the national. or kamao, that is learn and earn. The scheme will aim at upgrading the skill of monetary youths in various modern, traditional vocationals depending upon their educational qualification. C is USTTAD, that is upgrading the skills and training in traditional art crafts for development. The scheme will aim at capacity building and updating the traditional skills of master craftsmen artisans. These trained master craft artisans will train the monetary use in various specific traditional art crafts. D is Nai Manzil. The scheme will provide non-residential integrated educational and skill training program for 9 to 12 months, of which a minimum 3 months should be devoted to skill training. Third is infrastructure development. This comes Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Kalyan Karam. This scheme was launched in 2008-9. It is central sponsored scheme which being implemented by the Ministry of Monetary Affairs with the objective to develop infrastructure projects which are community assets in the identified areas with development deficit for socio-economic development of the said areas. Fourth is special need. Here in this schemes comes Nai Roshni, the leadership development of monetary movement. The objective of the scheme is to empower, instill confidence among monetary, including their neighbors from their other communities living the same village locality by providing knowledge, tools, and techniques for interacting with government, system banks, and other institutions at all levels. B is Hamari Dharovar, a scheme to preserve rich heritage of monetary communities of India under the overall concept of Indian culture. It was launched in 2015. C is Geo-Farsi, scheme for containing population decline of Parsis in India. The objective of the scheme is to reverse the decline trend of Parsi population by adopting a scientific protocol structure intervention, stabilize their population and increase the population of Parsis in India. D is work management. In this comes Kwame Work Board, the Tarqiqat scheme, the scheme of computerization of records and strengthening of state work board. Under this scheme, the government wanted to map the immovable assets under work board in order to assure its proper utilization and monetization. Second is Shahari Work Sampatti Vikas Yojana, scheme for grant in aids to work development to urban work properties. Under this scheme, the council provides loan assistance through the respective staff work boards for taking up economically, commercially viable buildings on work land. Third is research studies, monitoring and evaluation of development scheme including publicity. The scheme covers expenditure of research studies including baseline survey, monitoring, concurrent monitoring and evaluation of studies of various schemes and programs of the ministry, including the Prime Minister's new 15 points program for the welfare of minorities throughout the country with special focus on monetary concentration, district block towns, and holding workshop, seminar, conference on themes. Fifth is support to institution. Here in this comes A part is Corpus Fund to Maulana Azad Education Foundation, that is MAEF. The main objective of MAEF are to formulate and implement educational scheme and plans for the benefit of educationally backward minorities in particular and bigger section. B is Equity to National Minorities Development and Finance Corporation, that is NMDFC. It was incorporated on 30th September 1994 as a company not to profit under Section 25 of the Companies Act 1956. The main objective of the NMDFC to promote economic and development activities for the benefit of backward sections. C is Granting Aid Scheme to State Channelizing Agency of National Minorities Development and Finance Corporation. Under this scheme of grant and aid assistance will provide to the SCA directly by the National Minorities of Development and Finance Corporation. The main objective of this scheme is to strengthen the infrastructure of SCAs in order to improve their operations, including recovery of loans. Now, here is the budgetary allocations to the Ministry of Monetary Affairs, which is up to year 2006 to 2007 to 2013 to 2014. Sixth is my Prime Minister 15 points program. In this, A is Prime Minister new 15 points program for the welfare of minorities. The Honorable Prime Minister, in his address to Joint Section of Parliament on February 25, 2005, had announced that the government will recast the 15-point program for the welfare of minorities with the view of incorporate program specific interventions. Prime Minister, in his address to the occasion of Independence Day 2005, announced inter alia that we will also revise and revamp the 15-point program for minorities. Seventh is follow-up Sachar Committee report. Follow-up Sachar Committee report, aim of Sachar Committee report brought the issues of Muslim Indian inequality to national attention, sparking a decision that is still going. The committee recommended setting up Equal Opportunity Commission to provide. Now we have talked about the government organizations and its different scheme. Now we come to women empowerment through non-government organization. Now let us talk about some definitions of non-government organization. As Al Goel and Kumar NGO state that the NGO are non-profit making voluntary service oriented organization of the benefits of its member. They are flexible, democratic, and work without external control with specific aims and objectives. Devil still gives the NGO definitions are a member of person organized as a basic of voluntary membership without state control for some common interest of its member. Even here is the pie chart which describes women empowerment through different service by its type, like business training, leadership rights and responsibility, women rights and gender equality, counseling, legal service, women victims and violence, and other service of office. Now let's talk about the characteristics of NGO. The main characteristics of NGO are shown in the following figure, like voluntary spirit throughout the action, charity, selfness and non-profit, flexibility, hard work and dedication, close of community itself, innovation and self-reliant. Types of NGO. The types of NGO can be understood by their orientation and level of cooperation, which are shown clearly in figure, like in an NGO type by orientation, like service orientation, charitable orientation, participatory orientation, empowering and orientation, and NGO by level of corporation, that is community-based organization, city-wide organization, national NGOs, international NGOs. Now let us talk about the role of NGO towards women empowerment. Women empowerment has been the primary focus for both government and the most NGOs. Voluntary action promoted by the NGO engaged in development play a significant role towards rural development, which is dependent upon the active participation of the volunteers through non-government organizations. The various roles of NGOs toward the women empowerment are described below. Like first is educating the rural women, supplementation of government efforts, organizing the rural women, building various model and experiment, ensure women's participation in their empowerment, mobilizing the optimum resources, promoting rural leadership, representing the rural movement, promoting technology in rural areas, providing effective and efficient training to rural women, monitoring and evaluation, impact assessment, planning and implementation. Strategic areas where NGO focus in order to bring in women empowerment. NGO can play a meaningful role towards self-employment of women and their empowerment in following ways. First, we talk about training and skill development. There is a total of 22.7 female work participation in India, which main work contributes to 16.03 and marginal work to 6.24%. Women constitute 90% of the total marginal workers of the nation. There are regional variations in work participation rates with the country from 4 to 34%. Women often find employment as casual labor in agriculture and the growing informal sector. The aim is to train and provide them women opportunities of self-employment to improve their social and economic status. Second, we talk about legal awareness and property rights. In rural India, only 13% of the women enjoy right of inheritance of land. In village, usually the daughters marry and leave the village and hence no inheritance right exists. The government scheme also allowed the land to male household heals and adult son gets compensation of displacement, but the adult daughter isn't allowed to enjoy her right to inherit. The NGO are working towards legal empowerment of women to generate awareness regarding their legal rights and also help them to buy land by extending loan facilities. Third is fair trade. It is the ideology of cutting down on the middleman so that the product while reaching the buyer is still desirable price wise. Fair trade is about giving poor people power. It is vigorously developing business concept. NGO often minimum interest rate for initial investment, which those women can pay back after the The sector of cottage industries account for over 10% of the production in agriculture and rural-based industries in India. Government program focus on skill training, marketing, coordination, and inter-institutional linkage and render advice to the government on policy considering on the small scale sector. Sixth and the last point is capacity building. The technical competence of the people managing to deliver of their cooperative support to service must be enhanced and adopted by the specific requirements of the cooperative society, keeping in view to present the state of economic liberalization. Immediate necessary measures must be taken by government institution, cooperative sector, private sector, NGO, national and international agencies to sufficiently self-employed women with information, knowledge, technological training and managerial techniques. Now let's sum up the whole paper. That is the summary part. The Ministry of Minority Affairs was carved out of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment created on 29 January 2006 to ensure a more focused approach towards issues relating to notified minority communities, namely Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Sikh, Parsis, and Jain. The mandate of the ministry includes formulation of overall policy and planning, coordination, evaluation, and review of the regulatory framework, development program for the benefit of the minority communities, Article 14 to 16 under the right to equality, Article 14 to 18 of the Indian Constitution lays down equal rights of women and men and women. Any form of discrimination based on gender is strictly prohibited. Women in India got suffrage rights during India's independence in 1947, much earlier than most of the Western countries granted to their women citizens the right to vote. India has been making efforts to end gender gap and has launched various schemes and projects that work towards empowering women. The government of India have set various other plans supporting to training and employment program of women, which aim to address the situation of poor women in remote areas which are not able to move out of their native and for skill training. This would help women to be self-employed. The government of India has planned to train 500 million individuals by 2020. The NGOs and the self-help groups play a very vital role towards women empowerment by providing basic education, vocational training, training for self-employment, legal aid, protection for women, and self-awareness program. Thus, they are mainly concerned with the upliftment of the women in their society. Here are the reference from where I have taken the some informations and data. That's all about the presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. I would request Dr. Pawan sir if he is having any question to ask.
Yes, Miss Iram
Yes,
Sheikh.
Iram sir.
Safe, okay. Now, what is your contribution in this presentation?
Sir, contribution is this. I have done various research in studies to make my content more clear about the topic minority women empowerment through government and non-government organization.
Are you PhD student or what you are doing?
So I'm pursuing my PhD
From where?
from Jamia Millia Islamia.
Okay. The stuff, the points that you have presented here, all are from different sources. You accumulated all the points and you have presented. But it
Yes, sir.
would be much
From
better if you will do some sort of analysis. Mostly it's theoretically, you know, presented, but some sort of analysis, if you will add, it will, the paper will become more, you know, will have more weightage, because everything you have collected and presented the things.
yes, sir.
And the thing is that you are reading line by line all the points, line by line, paragraph by paragraph, you are reading the things. So what is your key findings here?
So my key findings is here that I have studied about both the government and non-government organization, and government is also doing much more to fulfill the women to do something to earn their for the basic requirements, and non-government organization, that is NGO, they are doing a lot of work to women.
Similar kind of work may be conducted by someone else previously. Someone carry out this kind of work previously.
Previously, sir,
Hello.
I'm not.
Someone have carried out this kind of work previously.
In when I talk about from research side, many other researchers also have done the some sort of research in the same topic, minority women empowerment. So a lot of research has been conducted in the field of government and non-government organization.
Mhm. But what you want to convey here? All the schemes you have presented here.
So I just want to convey here that different schemes come through under the government and non-government organization for the minority of women. All the schemes I have just converted to make more aware to the people about the schemes and the.
How many people knows about all these schemes? Have you done any some sort of survey, awareness, how people knows about it?
As my contact, very few people know about this scheme. That is
No. See, some sort of survey you can carry out.
yes, sir,
People
I
may be knowing about
definitely.
these things or not. How many peoples are benefited? What are the problems with the schemes? What would we can, how the schemes can be enhanced? What are the ways? How the new scheme can be introduced, so that the things will be, it would be benefited to all the Indian women.
Yes, sir. You are
So
talking
you are,
about
you
the
know,
first.
looking to the study,
Yes, sir.
looking to the study, the data that you have collected, and your own proposals, like this is your proposal that would help the Indian woman, and it would get benefited to the society.
Yes, sir.
So
I will definitely
that
work
your
on
own
this.
proposal is
The
missing here, because lot many things we can do in this
yes, sir.
for the
Firstly,
upliftment, the women's society.
yes, sir, I will
Okay,
definitely work
all the
on
best.
this. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, we also have one more session chair with us, Dr. Javeria Shabir ma'am from Pakistan. So I also would like to ask Javeria ma'am if she is having any question to ask.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, hello to everyone and Happy New Year. It was a nice presentation. And yes, I think Dr. Saab was right. Mr. Dr. Pavan sir was right about whatever he said.
Yes, ma'am.
There were some loopholes, but what I suggest is that you can change the study into a case study method, or you can go for a qualitative analysis, or at least you can go for a descriptive analysis. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Sabha Iram. Ma'am
Yes,
Iram
ma'am.
said.
I'm listening. Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
listening.
Okay. So can you tell me how your study is helping women empowerment?
Ma'am, basically, this paper is about monetary women empowerment through government and non-government organization. But my research topic is study of training needs of slum dweller women in Delhi.
So how what benefit your study is going to give to those women?
Ma'am, here I have talked about the NGO, non-governmental organization. So basically, NGOs work a lot for women by creating their small self-help groups, where in that self-help groups, a lot of vocational trainings are provided to them
Mhm. Okay.
for
Okay.
their small earnings.
Okay. Okay. So your study is going to create some awareness for them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can contribute in this sense as well. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now moving toward our next presentation. Manuscript ID is IMCCRT 2023-4018 and paper entitled as Study of the Performance of Wire EDM on Titanium Alloy Using Taguchi Method. So I would request presenter to please unmute themselves and please share the screen. Mr. Anand?
Yes, sir. Just one second. I'm sharing my screen.
Mr. Anantlal, can you please share your screen?
Yes, sir.
If it is taking time, we can till that time we can move to other presentation as well. If you need some more time.
Yes, sir. I need some time.
Okay, not an issue. So moving toward next presentation, manuscript ID 4024. Is she available?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Myself Chitra, and I am going to present my paper. And my paper title is Ensemble Model Classification. I'm going to share my screen, sir. Just wait a minute, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. Very good afternoon to
Yes.
one and all. Right. Thank you, ma'am. Very good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself, Chitra Jaluta, and I am Associate Professor. I am from Faridabad. So, sir, my paper title is Effectual Model for Early Prediction of Academic Performance Using Ensemble Classification. Sir, actually, I am pursuing PhD in computer science, and my topic is academic performance prediction. And I am using machine learning techniques for the same. And based on that, I prepared my paper. This is the scenario. So, sir, in this paper, I actually took a data set from the Kaggle. And on that data set, I applied 3 levels of analysis. Firstly, I applied through single classifiers. Then I go for the ensemble, and then I did the hybrid mixing of both. So can I start my introduction, sir? My paper introduction, as my screen is visible. So actually the problem was, okay, whenever we are talking about the academic performance prediction, like student want to achieve more and more, but on the basis of some factors, is it possible that we can calculate or we can find out or we can predict their result? So yes, we can. If I'm knowing that student has got 10 in 10th, very good percentage, at 12th level, very good percentage, and in first semester, very good. So obviously I can expect or I can predict the SEM2 result even. So this I have mentioned. So in the past few years, researchers are focused towards educational data mining to improve the quality of education. Academic performance is a vital issue, and my paper is basically using the ensemble classification to predict the academic performance prediction. For this is my data set, sir. I have took this XAPI data set from the Kaggle. In my data set, there are 3 types of attributes I have classified. And in these 3 types of attribute, total 16 features are there in my data set. After collecting the data set, I have applied the data pre-processing as well as feature selection techniques. I applied the chi-square to extract the important and most important attributes which are required to get the result. Actually, those who are affecting my output. So in this data set, there are 16 attributes. I took only 7 attributes which are affecting my result. This is my research methodology, sir. Firstly is the dataset assemblage. Then I applied the second stage, that is the data pre-processing, using data cleaning and feature selection. Then model building is done at 3 stages using single classifiers, ensemble classifiers, and the fusion of both. Under the single classifiers, I took 3 algorithms. I applied 3 algorithms: MLP, multi-layer perceptron, random forest, and PART. Under the ensemble classifiers, I have applied bagging, logic boost, and voting. And in the fusion, I joined these 2. So this is the feature selection, sir. I have applied the feature selection techniques, and out of the 16 features, only 7 were selected on the basis of the correlation with the final outcome for my result. Can I continue, sir? Or should I stop to clarify something?
You can continue.
I want to ask you. I want to ask you one question here.
Right, sir.
Your topic is academic what is that?
Performance prediction.
Performance. Okay. Which thing motivate you to go for this topic?
So actually, this is my research area. So I thought, okay, why should I not use this topic when I am doing the same thing on this?
What
So
people
that's
are
why-
doing all around the world, people are doing some work in this area.
Yes, sir. Many work, lot of work is there.
So you have not mentioned any motivational slide like
Sir,
these are the
in the
work
last
that
slide,
you-
I have given references, sir. In the
No,
last
that
slide,
is
sir,
true.
I can
That is
show you.
true.
Hanji.
But whenever you begin your presentation in the introduction, followed by motivation, that this is what the scenario worldwide, these are the factors considered worldwide, and these are the issues considered worldwide, and these are the issues I am focusing on. Have you done any mathematical
Sir, actually,
analysis?
sir, actually, in this paper, I have not done, but in my PhD, I have written some, I have done with one algorithm, and I have published that paper
Okay.
also.
No, that is
So
true. But why you have started with ensemble classification only?
because, sir,
Why you have selected?
Because, sir, when I have applied the single classifiers and the result was not good, because I can show you my results, sir. Just wait a minute, sir. This is my results of single classifiers.
How do you computed this?
Using Python, sir.
Okay. So how accuracy you computed? 71.
71%. 71%,
Percent?
sir. Hanji, sir. 71%. I have not
How we
mentioned
can
percent.
believe that this is percent?
Hanji.
How we can believe 71%? You are not mentioned anywhere.
Sir, yes, sir, yes. I forgot.
So,
Sorry, sir. I should mention.
because there is a x-axis and y-axis. Single
I should
classifier
mention.
accuracy. What is the
Random.
formula of computing the accuracy?
Hanji, sir.
What is the formula for computing accuracy?
So there are some function. So in Python, because it's consisting a lot of
Like
functions
which
with the
parameters are-
library.
Let us
NumPy,
say
sir.
if I would like,
NumPy library I have used. I have used Scikit. I have used sklearn. And sir,
what is the
inbuilt
input?
formulas, sir.
What
Hanji,
input
sir.
be required to compute accuracy?
Inputs are I actually divide my data set into the training and the testing. So 75% was on the training and 25% was on the testing data set.
Why it is? Why it is
Because,
so?
because sir, I have used firstly with the 90-10, then I have tried with the 80-20, and then finally when I use the 75-25, my result was better. That's why I use this 3/4 and 1/4.
So what is your conclusion from this particular slide? 71, 70.3 and then 72.3.
Yes, sir. This is sir, my ensemble classifier results, and this one is the single and ensemble. This is the comparative analysis. And when I'm using the fusion-based classifier, my results are better, sir. Like I have used bagging plus multi-layer perceptron, bagging plus random forest, bagging plus part. Then I have used boosting plus. So in this way, when I have compared with the single classifiers using ensemble, and then the hybrid version or fusion of those, so I have just come to know, and it is showing from the results that fusion of those classifiers means single and in symbol is much better because my model is giving the accuracy in terms of percentage more than that the previous.
How much improvement is there?
Sir, approximate 25%. Like in this slide, as you can see, sir,
Do
when I
people
have
getting
used,
the same? Do people getting the same sort of improvement worldwide?
sir, I have not compared with the worldwide. I have compared with only the recent 3 papers, sir, because it's not possible, sir. Worldwide
A
comparison is
journal. It's a journal paper or class conference paper.
no, sir. Actually, I have written for this conference, but I will improve this and I'll try for the Springer because some part of analysis I'll put more and then I'll put this paper in the Springer.
In the last, there is the F major. What is that F?
Which one, sir?
Go back to previous slide. This F major.
Sir,
Why
actually,
you have
yes, sir.
why you have included this F major here?
Sir, actually, whenever we want to measure the accuracy, there are certain parameters. If we want to check the result, okay, what kind of parameters? So I took these 4 because I did with the confusion matrix also.
How many parameters are there generally?
Sir,
How many parameters?
generally we took the parameters in our paper for comparative analysis, accuracy. Then we sometimes we
No,
use the
I'm asking
AUC
about 5, 10, 100. How many parameters?
for the result.
Hmm?
Sir, parameters in my data set.
Accuracy, precision, recall, F measure. How many things are there?
6 to 8 parameters, sir.
Okay, then why you have included 4?
Why I have included 4 only? Sir, there was no specific reason. I just
Then
thought
what is the
कि,
reason of selecting these 4 parameters? Something
sir,
must be there that these are
sir,
the required.
no, sir, not the specific one, but I tried on these 4. I can take 4 more, but I have not tried, but I can include, sir. I can include,
Okay.
sir. And thank you for your suggestion because it will improve the accuracy as well. Ji, sir.
Okay, continue.
Okay, sir.
Ms. Jagiri ma'am, do you have any question to ask?
Pardon,
No.
sir?
No, thank you. I think the research is well done. And yes, the suggestions were okay. You can always improve. And this is the reason that we are together here today.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Because we are on the track, sir, ma'am, and you people are enough experienced and you can motivate us, you can guide us, and we can do better in our lives. Sir. And ma'am, we are always on your suggestions, whatever suggestions you people will give, and we will incorporate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
One more thing I would like to add here.
Right, sir.
Whenever you compute something like you come across some sort of reading 85.6
Right,
or
sir.
80.2 or whatever it may be.
Right,
So to know more exactly, you can have some sort of mathematical analysis by
Okay,
taking
sir.
some sort of data and
Right.
by calculating that data, arriving at some sort of output like 80.6. Through
Okay.
example, the things may get clear.
I got your point,
Simply
sir.
putting the values and claiming to be that this is better. Instead of that, you take some example. Example A, example B, example C, and how the accuracy or the parameters, if you change, what sort of result you will get. So that
Right,
practical
sir.
approach is required.
Right,
So,
sir. Right.
right?
I got your point.
That's all
Thank you
from
so
my
much, sir. And I'll incorporate, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful suggestions. Now I would like to ask Anantlal if he's ready with
Yes, sir.
his
Sir,
presentation.
can I stop my screen?
Yeah, you can. Ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Anantlal, you can share
Yes.
your screen.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. My name is Anantalal Das, and my project on is study of the performance of oil EDM on titanium alloy using Taguchi method. So I and Manoj Kundu are the author on this of the project. The contents include on these projects are abstract introduction, experimental details, result discussion, conclusion, feature scope, acknowledgement, and reference. The abstract of this paper is, this paper present an experimental investigation of oil electrical discharge machining of titanium alloy. The objective is to investigate the effect of process parameter including pulse width, servo reference voltage, pulse current, and wire tension on process parameters such as cutting speed, wire rupture, and surface integrity. A Taguchi method has been applied. All experiments have been conducted using Chermill's WEDM. It was also found that the cutting speed increase with peak current and pulse interval surface roughness was found to increase with pulse width and decrease with pulse interval. Introduction. Oil electrical discharge machining has become one of the most extensively used non-traditional machining removal process. Research have successfully applied the oil EDM process to machining superalloy, composite material, high-speed steel, conductive ceramic, etc. Its unique features of using thermal energy of machine electrically conductive materials regardless of hardness is a distinctive advantage in the manufacturing of mold, die, and automotive, aerospace, and surgical components. Wire EDM is a process of eroding and removing material by transient action of electrical spark on electrically conductive materials, one being the workpiece electrode and the other being the tool electrode, immersed in a dielectric fluid and separated by a small gap. The main mode of erosion is caused due to local thermal effect of an electric discharge. The workpiece material is removed by a local high temperature associated with a very high energy density caused by ionization within the discharge column between the workpiece and electrode. My experimental details are optimizing the technique. Taguchi process, the robust design based on design experimentation. This method provides a best tool for parameter design of performance characteristics. Design of experiments includes selection of appropriate orthogonal array and assignment of factors and interaction of appropriate column. Taguchi method reduces the number of experiments by using orthogonal array, thus reducing the effort of large experimentation. Experimental procedure. The experiments were carried out on UltraCut 843, UltraCut F2 CNC wire EDM machine. In this machine, all the axes are servo controlled and can be programmed to follow a CNC code which is fed through the control panel. all three axes have an accuracy of 1 micrometer, and the electrode material used was a 0.25 mm diameter brass wire. A small gap of 0.025 millimeter to 0.05 millimeter is maintained in between the wire and workpiece. Here is the experimental result. So here are the column is T on, that's mean pulse on time, T off, that's mean pulse of time, servo voltage, that means CS, and wire WP means wire, wire pulse, and WF means wire feed, and WT means wire tension, SB means servo voltage, and MRR means metal removing rate. Here are the graph of the MRR metal removing rate, and the second table is the level 1 and level 2. These are the value I have taken during my process. Here is the optimal parameter of the MRR. This is the final result of the metal removing rate. And here is the conclusions. This paper presented multi-objective optimization process parameter of wire EDM of titanium alloy using Taguchi technique and traditional utility analysis in conjunction with principal component analysis for weightage assignment. The statistical analysis improves machining performance of wire EDM process. The mathematical modeling was presented for predicting optimal conditions of metal removing rate, spark gap, and surface roughness, and statistically validated by ANOVA test result, so that two machining parameters, pulse on time, wire tension, having significant influence on material removal rate of WEDM process. The pulse on time, wire feed, and spark gap has significant effect on surface roughness. The three machining parameters, corner, servo voltage, wire rate feed, and wire tension, showing greatest influence on spark gap. The multi-objective optimization of the MRR. Here are the future scope. Although the wire EDM machining has been truly investigated for titanium alloy grade 12, still there is a scope for future investigation. The following suggestion may be prove useful for future work. Here are some future scope. The effect of machining parameter on recast layer thickness and overcut should be investigated. Instead of brass electrode, other electrode material like copper, graphite may be used in wire EDM process. In this study, only 4 machining parameters are chosen. A detailed study may be done considering other parameters also. Acknowledgement. I pay my deep sense of gratitude to Assistant Professor Dr. Manoj Kundu of Dr. B.C. Engineering College, Durgapur, for encouraging me immersively and providing me the opportunity to prepare this report. I also highly obliged to my all associate faculty members for their elevating inspiration, encouraging guidance, and kind supervision in the completion of the report. Here are some reference. I have taken information from here. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Okay. Very nice presentation. And I would like to ask you,
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Anantlal Das.
Yes, ma'am.
That who is going to benefit from your research? Who will be the end user, or who will be beneficiary of this research?
Yes, ma'am. And those who are using EDM machining for their manufacturing purpose, so they will get benefited for taking this value for their metal processing. So they will get the more material removing rate, maximum MRR for their process.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Pawan sir, if you would like to ask anything.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Anantlal Das.
Yes, sir.
Which method you have adopted here?
Here, sir, I have adopted Taguchi method.
Why?
Because
Why not other? Why not other method you have used?
Yes, sir. For the research and development purpose, and for the getting quick result of doing minimum experiment, the Taguchi method is very efficient. So we can put the more value.
Who said that Taguchi method is better?
Yes, sir.
Who said it? Taguchi method is better.
I have reviewed for more paper, and some references I have put in here. So there I have. Yes, sir.
People are using that method for this kind
yes,
of
sir.
work.
People are using for the increase their efficiency for the research and analysis purposes. This method is always used.
So people have used it, this method, then why you have used it? What is new in this?
So the new in this project is the value that I have taken for during my experiment. So I have changes this parameter and getting the better metal removing rate, MRR
What
value.
was in your experimental setup? Can you say something about the experimental
Yes,
setup?
sir. Yes, sir. My experimental setup is I have used UltraCut 843. This is the wire EDM machine, and here I can use the program for the machining the material, and I have used a brass electrode by which I can machining my material. And I have used dielectrode fluid, which is distilled water, and these are my machining setups, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now moving toward our next presentation. Manuscript ID is IMCCRT 2023-4032. Paper entitled as Market Value of the Pharmaceutical Industry in Bangladesh. So I would like to request presenter to please share their screen. Mr. Mehdi Hassan, are you there? Mr. Mehdi Hassan? Are you there?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. You can share your screen and
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute. I'm sharing my screen.
Mr. Mehdi? Yes.
Yeah. I think sorry at first because there was some network issue. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible. You can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mehdi Hassan Manik from Bangladesh. At first, thanks to the organizing committee of the 7th International Multidisciplinary Organization Conference on Current Research Trend 2023 to give me a chance to present my research output in this STEAM platform. My research topic is market value of the pharmaceutical industry in Bangladesh. And let's enjoy the session. At first, background of the study. Bangladesh is one of the farm emerging country in the world due to its large population size. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. In Bangladesh, pharma industry contribute 1% of its GDP. It is not much more large industry in Bangladesh, but it contributes a significant amount in the revenue earning of Bangladesh government. And at present, the GDP growth rate of Bangladesh is 6.7%, but industry growth rate is 18.7%. That means industry growth rate is much better than the GDP growth rate of the country. And the pharmaceutical industry value, the IMS provides the data in not only Bangladesh, but also Asia and out of Asia, different countries, they provide the pharmaceutical industries data. According to the IMS data, and the IMS data provides this pharmaceutical industry data based on the different estimation techniques. But the question is how the estimated data provided by IMS is close to the actual industry data. The objective of this study, the objective of my research is to show the pharmaceutical industry value in Bangladesh and to show the gap between IMS data and the actual data in the industry in Bangladesh. And finally, to understand the sales gap between IMS sales and actual sales gap, actual sales in the industry based on any appropriate statistical test. Now, material and methods. The study collects the data from IMS from MAT 2Q 2018 to 2Q 2022, and the study collects the actual sales data of ACI, Advanced Chemical Industry, is one of the leading firm in the pharma industry in Bangladesh, and the study collects the actual sales data of ACI from the ACI management from quarter 3Q 2000, from quarter through 3Q 2019 to quarter 2Q 2022. That means there are 12 quarter data. And the study use the Mann-Whitney-Wilcoxon U-test to understand the sales gap is significant or insignificant, and due to data nature. And the study use MS Excel and R Studio for different calculation and graphs. Now, result and discussion. On the table here, show the MAT in MAT 2Q 2018, the industry size of Bangladesh is 202.02 billion taka. Taka means Bangladeshi currency, local currency. If we convert it US dollar, it turns at 1.96 billion US dollar. At present, the US dollar is fluctuating very much due to different national and international reasons. And in last MAT 2Q 2022, the industry size was 265.95 billion taka, and it was 2.58 billion dollar. And the last MAT, the industry size, industry growth is negative. But before three MATs, the industry growth size was positive. But this MAT, last MAT, industry size is negative, and this negative due to the Russia-Ukraine war effect. Because due to this war effect, worldwide there is a crisis of dollar rate, and dollar rate is increasing day by day. And Bangladesh is happening. In Bangladesh is happening the same thing. And in Bangladesh at present, is still now different bank cannot open their LC according to their requirement, because government of Bangladesh imposing different rules and regulations to control the import due to dollar crisis. So and Bangladesh import its raw material and machineries for pharmaceutical industry from China, India, Europe. So government, due to government imposed regulation, so different bank and industry firm cannot import as per their requirement. So the industry growth is negative. And the below table show the sales industry value trend. And always the trend was positive, but in the last MAT, the industry growth is negative due to the Russia-Ukraine war effect. Now, quarter-wise sales data of ACI and IMS, and this is the 12 quarter data. In quarter 3Q 2019, the industry size according to IMS data was 60.54 billion taka. But ACI share was, according to IMS, ACI sales was 2.47 billion taka. And according to ACI management, the value of ACI, that means it is the true value of ACI. It was 2.94, and it was the true value, and it was the IMS value. And difference between true value and IMS value is 0.44 billion taka. And it was 17.8%. That means in 3Q quarter 3 2019, the actual value of ACI was 17.8% greater than the IMS value. Similarly, in the last quarter 2Q 2022, the IMS value of ACI was 2.16 billion taka.
Hello.
A true value of ACI was 24.1% greater than the IMS value of IMS value. And in the below figure represents the gap between the sales of ACI true sales and ACI sales according to IMS. Blue color is the ACI sales of IMS, and this color is the ACI sales. It is the according to the ACI management. In every quarter, the true sales, or that means actual sales of ACI is greater than the IMS sales. And in this 12 quarter, the difference was varied from 7.4% to 46.3%, greater than the actual sale value of IMS. Now the question is, there is a clear sales difference between the IMS value and actual value. Now the question is how this value is statistically significant. To show this significance or insignificant, the study relies on Manute-Wilcox new test, because there is a two sample test. One is actual cells, another is cells of IMS. In this case, one may use the t-test, but t-test is a parametric test. Due to parametric test, one should use the check the assumption of the parametric test. One of the very basic assumption of the parametric test is normality assumptions. Normality assumptions one may use for checking the normality assumption of data set. One may use the QQ plot, histogram, or box plot, or Shapiro test. But this study relies on the QQ plot. According to the QQ plot, the normality of normality assumption check of ACI value by IMS. That means this plot from the sales value of IMS. And in this plot, the QQ line is the blue color and red color is the QQ plot. And there is a clear lack of fitness between the QQ plot and QQ line. And this is the clear violation of normality assumptions. And another set of data, it is the actual cell of ACI. In this case, there is a lack of fitness between the QQ plot and QQ line. And it is the violation of normality assumptions. And due to violation of these normality assumptions, the data set, the study relies on the Manute-Wilcox new test, because Manute-Wilcox new test is the very popular non-parametric test or as an alternative of the t-test. Now the another reason is sample size. Different studies shows the sample size, if the sample size is less than equal to 20, then non-parametric Manute-Wilcox new test shows the more efficiency and power of test power is more better than the t-test. Due to these two reasons, the study relies on non-parametric Manute-Wilcox new test rather than parametric t-test. Now the hypothesis of the non-parametric Manute-Wilcox new test, null hypothesis M1 equal to M2, and alternative hypothesis M1 not equal to M2. Where M1 is the median and of sales value according to IMS, and M2 median of sales value according to ACI management. That is mean it is the IMS value and it is a true value. M1 is IMS value, M2 is the true value. Now output of the Manute-Wilcox new test. P value shows P value is less than level of significance 1%. That means the null hypothesis might be rejected at 1% level of significance, means the alternative hypothesis is accepted. Alternative hypothesis was median of actual value and IMS value is different. That means the median of IMS value and median of actual value in the pharma industry is different, significantly different, statistically significant. And now the descriptive statistics shows the similar result. In this case, descriptive statistics shows median of the IMS value is 2.37. Actual sales is 2.92 billion taka, and mean value per quarter is 2.39, and actual value is 2.97. Now the standard deviation of the data set. The standard deviation of the data set shows the IMS value has the less standard deviation, but actual sales value has the more standard deviation. That means actual value of the industry is more scattered than the IMS sales value. Now findings of the study, the industry value in the last MAT 2 2022, industry value in Bangladesh pharma industry was 2.58 billion US dollar. And the growth rate was positive except the last MAT. That means except the last month, the industry value was positive. And on an average quarterly, the actual sales value of the industry is 23.8% higher than the IMS sales value. And the sales difference is statistically significant. Now, conclusion of the study. Conclusion, Bangladesh is a farm emerging country, but last month shows the negative industry growth, and this is happened due to the two unexpected events, COVID-19 or Russia-Ukraine war. But the study claiming the Russia-Ukraine war effect is the main indicator or main reasons for industry negative growth. And the further study is required regarding the war effect in pharma industry of Bangladesh. And on an average quarterly, the actual sales value of the industry is 23.8% higher than the IMS sales value. And major limitations of this study may include the study consider only one firm, that is Advanced Chemical Industry, ACI, that contribute 3 to 4% of the industry. And based on a single firm analysis, the study tried to conclude about the whole industry value. And further studies required to include the other sales value of other firms in the industry for drawing more logical conclusion regarding the sales gap issue. But the question is, the actual sales value of a company is very tough to gather actual sales value of a company, because there is a lot of hidden issue, tax issue, and the government regulation issue. Due to this regulatory issue, actual sales value is very tough to obtain, and it is just impossible to obtain the whole industrial actual value. So we have to rely on the IMS data value, and IMS not only supply the data in Bangladesh, they also supply data in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and in Asia, IMS is the only giant to share the pharmaceutical industrial value, and they are also providing data other than the Asian country. So we have to rely must on the IMS data, but we can analyze some sort of analysis, statistical analysis, just to understand the actual sales value and IMS sales value gap difference. And this study will help the international communities to enter the Bangladeshi pharmaceutical industry for their business expansion. Because in Sanofi and Aventa, Novo Nordics, lots of pharmaceutical giants, they wants to know the how growing a pharma market in a country, and what is the market size in a specific country. So the IMS providing a value, but these types of study or analytic statistic based analysis, they help the international community for entering in a country or a market for doing their business expansion or new business start. Thanks all for your questions. If you have any questions, please ask.
Thank you, sir. Now, Javira ma'am, if you have any question, you can ask.
Okay, very nice analysis. So what is the practical application of your research? And second question is, from your table, can you explain the standard deviation point again? Like
Okay.
how you manipulate your data, and what is the meaning of it?
Okay.
As per
Thank
your
you.
data.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I am answering your first questions. How it the study value or research value, that I already explained. Different international community or international giant, for example, Biopharma, Adventa, or Sanofi, Novo Nordics, they try to understand what is how much or how big a industry in a specific country. So IMS provides the data, and this study try to they only show the industrial value from the IMS. But this study or this type of study can help the to the international community the findings the IMS value providing the Bangladesh IMS value according to the IMS data. The value, industry value is 2.8 billion, but the study claiming the actual sales or actual industry size is 23% or 24% higher than the IMS sales value. So the actual sales value, actual industry volume according to the IMS is $2.5 billion, but according to IMS value, but according to this study, the actual value, actual market is 25% approximately greater than the IMS value, and from this study, the international community may enter the pharma industry for their expansion, their business. And second question is the standard deviation. The standard deviation claiming according to the IMS sales value, the standard deviation is 0.24. But according to the ACI sales value, that is actual sales value, the standard deviation is 0.26. That means standard deviation is greater for the actual sales value. That means the actual sales value is industry is much scattered than the IMS sales value. Is it clear?
Yes, now it's clear. Thank you.
Okay.
Any question?
If you would like to ask any question, Dr. Pawan. Dr. Pawan, are you there?
Yeah. There are no questions, sir. Good.
So moving toward our next presentation, probably the last one, because one of the participants didn't came in. She told that she would be here, but as of now, she is not here. So we can consider the last presentation for the day. Manuscript ID is IMCCRT 2023-4034, and paper entitled as The Impact of Cause-Related Marketing on Brand Image, Perceived Quality, Brand Awareness, and Purchase Intention, the moderate role of customers' skepticism. So I would like to request presenter to please share the screen and start the presentation.
Okay, hello and good afternoon.
You can share your screen.
Is the screen is visible now? I have shared.
I didn't hear you properly. What did you say, sir?
Does the screen is now visible?
We cannot see your screen. You need to click on the share screen to share the PPT.
Now?
No.
Okay, let's see the problem. I have shared it. About organizing this conference, and I hope for Dr. Muhammad Nuruddin to fast recovery from this accident. Besides, I will try to share the PowerPoint. I don't know the problem. Okay. One minute, but in order share the screen. I don't know the problem. Why it's not sharing?
Screen is visible to us, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay, okay. The impact of cause-related marketing on brand image, perceived quality, brand awareness, and purchase intention. This is the title of the paper. And the moderate role of customer skepticism. The authors, Mahmoud Al-Humsi, PhD in business, Ala Abbas, associate professor in BAU, Beirut Arabic University, and Kawthar Hussam Hashosh, it's in Faculty of Literature and Human Science at Lebanese University. The company's focus switched from profit maximization to more pressing challenges such as corporate survival and meeting societal demands. The relationship between companies and non-profit organizations has witnessed remarkable cooperation and growth. This cooperation allows increasing the profit and revenue of the company, at the same time work to contribute to the welfare of society. This cooperation is called cause-related marketing. One example of cause-related marketing is back to the late 1980th century when the American Express Company provide 1 cent to every sales card of this company to preserve the state of liberty. This is cause-related marketing. It's linked to social responsibility. When one part or part of the sales of profitable company go to non-profitable or charities or associations. The problem of this paper, the location of this paper is Lebanon. The issue of responsibility, of social responsibility and sustainability are becoming increasingly important in today's economic and social circumstances, particularly in business sectors. Nowadays, the economic crisis and the epidemic have seriously hurt the book sector in Lebanon. Most of consumers who are related to companies on the basis of association with the social issue are skeptic and think that the use of cause-related marketing is only to improve their image. So consumers began to question the company motive for linking their brand to a social issue. The purpose of this study is to examine the impact of cause-related marketing campaign on brand image, perceived quality, brand awareness, purchase intention in Lebanon, mainly in book sector in Lebanon. In addition, the study also investigates the moderate impact of customer skepticism on the relationship between cause-related marketing and brand image, perceived quality, brand awareness, and purchase intention. As a result, cause-related marketing is a campaign as any type of marketing campaign, but this type of marketing campaign is focused on CSR or corporate social responsibility. Okay, a part of the profit or sales of some product of a company will go to a social organization or non-profitable organization, including some deal with health, educational, women protection, and so on. The study investigates its impact on these dimensions and marketing concepts, including image, quality, awareness, and purchase intention. Skepticism it's a very important problem and issue when the individuals think that this campaign is only to obtain profit for the organization or to enhance their image. Thus, it's important to investigate these issues. Research importance. The current study enhances marketing literature by developing conceptual framework that helps to explain the concept of cause-related marketing, which contribute to better understanding the outcome of cause-related marketing campaign on a brand image, quality, brand awareness, and purchase intention in Lebanon. The study contributes to better understanding the moderate role of customer perceived skepticism. The present study adopts shareholder value theory to develop a research model. In this context, the study will provide empirical support to revalidate this theory. Instead of practical importance, the outcome of this study will provide Lebanese marketer with a better understanding of the factors that influence purchase intention with regard to the effect of cause-related marketing campaigns. The findings of the study will help marketers and companies managers to gain better understanding of the consumer attitude against the outcome of cause-related marketing. The findings of the study provide marketers and companies managers full insight about the moderate effect of customer skepticism on the relationship between the examined and investigated variables. Okay, this is the conceptual model. Hypothesis 1, investigate the impact of cause-related marketing on brand image. H2, on perceived quality. H3, on brand awareness. H4, on purchase intention. And H5, ABCD, look to the effect of cause-related marketing campaign on the effect of customer skepticism to moderate, increase, or decrease the relationship of these campaigns on these four concepts. The research methodology of this paper: first, this study is focused on quantitative survey method. The survey was distributed to 212 respondents using sample type, convenience sample time, to the consumers that make direct purchase from large malls and byros, and focusing on the companies that make strategic alliance with some of non-profitable organizations, including these organizations that handle some of social, educational, and health issues in large mall and byros, as said. Ensuring that these companies sell books, knowing that we focus, or this study focus, in book sector. Measure, these are the measures of the contract. 4 items using from Shabir Ital 2010 to investigate cause-related marketing campaign. 3 items for brand image, 5 items for perceived quality, 5 items for brand awareness, 5 items for purchase intention, and 4 items to measure customer skepticism. All these items are answered by 1 to 5 Likert, 5-point Likert scale. 1 is strongly disagree, and 5, as you know, strongly agree. Analysis of the data: the study used Kaiser-Meyer-Olken to understand the adequacy of the data, sampling data. Factor loading determines that whether the data is essential for analysis. Cronbach alpha and composite reliability in order to determine the internal consistency. Average variance extracted for all the variables to measuring validity. And structural equation modeling to examine the structural relationship between the variables. Based on the analysis of the Kaiser-Meyer-Olken was 0.925, which emphasized the adequacy of the data. Factor loading all the items was above 0.5, ensuring that it's appropriate for analysis. Cronbach alpha and composite reliability result was of the items was of the contract was above 0.7, as recommended by Hayes 2017. Appropriate for its obtain internal consistency, and the average variance extracted was above 0.5, which emphasized in turn the validity of the results of the instrument. These are the results. Cause-related marketing campaign positively affect brand image and perceived quality and purchase intention. Thus, H1, H2, and H4 is supported. H3 is rejected, and there is no relationship between cause-related marketing campaign and brand awareness. H5A is supported, and customer skepticism negatively moderates the relationship between cause-related marketing and brand image. The hypothesis H5B, C, and D was rejected, and customer skepticism not moderate the relationship between cause-related marketing and brand awareness, purchase intention, and perceived quality. Implication: the study enhanced the literature of cause-related marketing in Lebanon, still lacking. The findings of this study revalidate the Friedman 1970 shareholder value theory, which states that the TSR of the company, it comes only to maximize the sales, profit, and share value. The current study also contributes to better understanding the impact of cause-related marketing campaign on consumer behavior, attitude, and moderate impact of customer skepticism on cause-related marketing outcomes. As a recommendation and practical application, the findings of the study guide both marketers and companies managers to fully comprehend the effects of cause-related marketing. Marketers and company managers are recommended to implement cause-related marketing campaign in order to improve the brand image, perceived quality, and purchase intention, especially during these difficulties, economic and political situation currently exist in Lebanon. More marketers should take into consideration the customer skepticism towards their cause-related marketing campaign, because customer skepticism negatively moderates the relationship between cause-related marketing and the brand image. Thank you. Is there any question?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Go to your introduction slide. First slide. First slide. Go to your first slide.
Yes, I know. Is there any question, Doctor?
Yeah. Go to first slide, introduction.
Introduction?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it visible? Is it visible now?
Right. Now, there are 3 bullets you have used here. Some statement you have mentioned here. Are these your own statement? My question is,
yes.
Are these your own statement?
No, it's not my own statement. It was get from previous studies.
Yeah. So it would be, much better if you will add some citations here.
Okay.
If it is not your statement.
Yes, it was provided in the paper, Doctor. But this is for clear presentation and not cite the reference in the PowerPoint. But if it's better, I will provide it later on.
What sort of input you are going to provide here?
Again, please.
What sort of input you are going to provide and what sort of output you are going to get?
Okay. You said about the output and the input in the literature. Okay. This study will enhance understanding about the cause-related marketing first. Second, this provides better understanding about the effect of customer skepticism to moderate the relationship between these campaigns that focus on.
Okay, that's true. But some sort of input, some parameters we need to pass on. You might think about it. You may be using it. Some sort of parameter you're going to use for brand making purpose. What are those parameters?
What again, please? I don't hear the poor connection. Can you again, please, re-question the?
See, there may be some factors, X1, X2, X3 factors, which may be required to enhance the branding. My question is, which factors you have included or you're going to use it?
Okay, in this study, you answer your question?
Yes, in this study,
Okay.
in this study.
In this study, the findings in this study, the input of cause-related marketing was a companies provided a worthy cause first, then give and provide some of its sales to non-profitable organizations, and is it this organization is suitable? These are the cause-related marketing campaign that I have used in this study and was provided from previous study conducted from Chaber et al. 2010.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there another question?
Ma'am, would you like to ask question?
Yes.
Okay, I think she's not here now. Now the last presentation, actually, Arka Banerjee ma'am has arrived and she asked to give her presentation. So I'll request Arka ma'am to please share her screen, and this would be the last presentation of the day.
Okay.
Arka ma'am, are you there?
Actually, sir, the last presentation is mine, sir. Mr. Riju Ganguly, sir.
What's your manuscript ID?
1 second, sir.
Acha, Riju sir, you and Arka are together in the same paper, right?
Yes, sir.
Hi, sir. This is
okay.
Gulnawaz. Hi, sir. This is Gulnawaz. Sorry for the interruption. Sir, our presentation is today.
You can connect with the concerned person who is coordinating with you. She will assist you and tell you. What's your manuscript ID, sir? Gulnawaz, sir.
Gulnawaz, sir. ID.
Meanwhile, Riju Ganguly, sir, you can share your screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, sir.
Gulnawaz, sir, I would request you to please coordinate with the concerned person who is communicating with you. She will assist you right away.
Okay, sir.
Sir, please share your screen.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes. So, Riju, sir, you, Gulnawaz, and Arka ma'am
sir.
are in the same paper.
No, sir. Gulrama is not in my group. Actually, me and Arko Banerjee is from this group. Sabani Subinta.
What's your manuscript ID, sir? Can you please let me know once?
1 second, sir.
Riju, sir, you have selected for one-to-one presentation, and today is our group presentation. One-to-one presentations are on tomorrow. So you can show your presentation tomorrow as you have opted for one-to-one presentation.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Arka ma'am, if you are there, you can share your screen. Otherwise, you can coordinate with the team member and we can schedule your presentation tomorrow. Are you there, Arka ma'am? Riju sir?
Yes, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Just a moment, Riju sir, there is some confusion here. Are you with Arka Banerjee?
Yes, sir. Orko Banerjee is our professor.
Okay. And who is
Yes, sir.
Gulnawaz?
I'm Gulnawaz.
I don't know, sir.
I'm Gulnawaz. Gulnawaz is here, sir.
So Gulnawaz, your presentation is tomorrow. It's a one-to-one
Gulnawaz.
presentation.
Sir, Gulnawaz. Sir, my presentation is tomorrow. I'm Gulnawaz.
Yes, Gulnawaz, you have opted for one-to-one presentation,
Okay, sir.
right? So your presentation is tomorrow.
Sir,
Riju Ganguly, yeah.
Yes, sir.
sir, tomorrow by which time I shall
You
appear
please
for my presentation?
you please coordinate with the concerned person with
Okay, sir.
you are communicating. She will assist you.
Okay,
And
sir.
Riju Ganguly, sir, you can share your screen, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is it visible, sir?
Your presentation is scheduled tomorrow. You are opted one-to-one presentation.
Just a moment.
Can you share my
Concerned,
PPT
you
today,
are
sir?
Yes,
coordinated.
right now you can share your screen.
Is it visible, sir?
No. You need to share your screen again because Gulnawaz has shared his screen that time. Please share your screen once again. I can see your screen. You can select PPT slide option. Presentation, we are unable to see your presentation, but we can see your screen of like browser. Yes, we can see it. You can go ahead with your presentation, sir. Please unmute yourself and start your presentation, Riju, sir. Am I audible, Riju, sir? Hello. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Your voice is not coming.
Actually, sir, whenever I goes to present the presentation, sir, is automatically muted.
Okay. Can you please instantly share your like PPT to our team member right away?
Yes, sir. I can share this PPT to Preeti ma'am, sir.
Yeah. Please do share now.
One second, sir.
I would request participant to please be here. It will take only next 2 minutes to show their presentation on screen.
Sir, can I send this PPT to Preeti ma'am?
I spoke with Preeti ma'am. Your PPT is already with us. We are about to share it.
Okay, sir.
So you can start your presentation. I hope you can see my screen and your PPT as well, right? Mr. Riju, can you see the presentation on screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can instruct me whenever you want to change your slide. I'll change a slide for you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, please start your presentation.
Good morning. Sorry. Good evening, sir. Good evening, all of you present here. My name is Riju Ganguly, and my department name is Mechanical Engineering. Today we are going to discuss about our final year project named as 7 years wind turbine. So the 7 years wind turbine was invented by the Finnish engineer Mr. S.J. 7 years in 1922, and it was patented in 1926. So Europeans had entire experiment with these curved plates and vertical axis wind turbine, and these turbines are used whenever cost or reliability is much more important than efficiency. Now, and in these steps to save our Earth from global warming, every nations focused on our own way to promote green energy, among which the Savonius vertical axis wind turbine is one of the excellent variable solution for scavenging wind energy in a downtown background. So, however, the traditional 7 years wind turbines with similarly blades had a portability low power coefficient together with a high negative torque produced by the returning blade. So, can you share the next slide, sir? Okay. So in this introduction part, I want to say you, sir, that the increase in the use of non-renewable energy had increased the global warming, which causes a lot of disturbance in the stability of our planet Earth. To make it a safe place to live in, we have reduced all possible sources to in which it causes imbalance, like reducing the use of non-renewable sources to generate energy and reduce pollutions, which will certainly reduce the level of global emissions, which will save it a lot. So there are mainly two varieties of turbine namely vertical axis wind turbines and horizontal axis wind turbines. Uh, between the sorry, sir. Okay, sir. Uh, So between this from this diagram, sir, between these two types of varieties, both have pros and cons among themselves. The horizontal axis wind turbines are in major use in commercialized and generations of electricity, as it has greater efficient design to extract more energy by full weight rotation and many more. So another crucial point in vertical axis wind turbine is that they are bidirectional, which can accept winds from any directions without any extra mechanism. Yes, sir. The next slide, sir, please. Yes. So from the theoretical background, we got two laws like Bates laws and a tip speed ratio. Bed slot is states the maximum efficiency that wind turbines can be produced theoretically, as stated by Ben's law, 16 by 27, 59.3% is maximum amount of extractable kinetic energy of wind, and from tip speed ratio denoted by lambda. It symbolizes the ratio of tip speed to wind speed. Lambda equals to v by v tip by v wind. And sir, can you share the next slide, sir? Okay. So types of wind turbine. So classifications of wind turbine can be done upon the rotations, orientations axis, the power capacity of turbines, and the drag or and lift forces experienced by the blades. And mainly, there are three types of classifications based on axis of rotations, based on rotation diameter and power ratings, and based on aerodynamic force. So here is the types of wind turbines. Actually, sir, types of wind turbines based on axis of rotations. So, axis wind turbines, uh, based on the center line of rotation, there are few varieties of wind turbines, are namely horizontal axis wind turbine and vertical axis wind turbine. The horizontal axis wind turbine are the turbines whose centers line is rotations point horizontal on the ground and blades are unidirectional. So they have self-started system by weighing mechanism, the turbines in which the axis of rotations had vertical directions. Now, so the next slide. From the previous slide, I'm telling about the vertical axis wind turbine. So you please share the next slide. Characteristic of Savonius wind turbine. So swept area of Savonius wind turbine is characterized by ACE, which influences the produces energy output of the turbine. More ACE means more energy output. So here you can see, sir, AS equals to H into D, where D is its diameter of H is height of the turbine, and the equation is lambda V equals to V rotor equals to WD by V. So okay, sir. So advantages of 7S wind turbine. There are many advantages of 7S wind turbine. Some of them are listed for follows. Like, sir, it is long sound level, high torque during start, small and compact in size, simple and cheap contribution construction. Okay. So now the conclusion is we done our literature survey and market survey on vertical axis wind turbine, and it has tried to mention advantages, applications, and limitations. And also we understood how to design the blade and measurement of wind speed with use of anemometer. And it had made a prototype model with using acrylic material and try to mention it look like a original model. And we also use the blade for some PVC pipe with PVC pipe. Okay, sir. Next slide. The next slide is the references from where we uh, took the details about our project. So that's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pawan. If you have any question to ask. Javere ma'am, do you have any question to ask?
Yes. Do tell me that why you selected this particular area and who is going to benefit? And tell me the benefit financially also. I mean, on a practical basis. Because when we are doing some research that is going to benefit some society or business. So please tell me that.
Actually, ma'am, we choose this vertical axis wind turbine as because of it is low cost estimation. We in our project we use some metallic rods, which is very low cost estimate, and with PVC pipe, we know, sir, ma'am, that PVC pipe is very low cost. We can purchase it from any shop with low cost, so we can use this PVC pipe. We use the PVC pipe with our project, so for cost estimations, and we um, and with our model we use the small diameters for एक्चुअली हम क्या हुआ कि मतलब छोटी छोटी सी बनाए कि मतलब चारों तरफ अगर मतलब घर के छत पे भी रख सकते हैं, कहीं पे भी रख सकते हैं, लेकिन आउटपुट दे सकते हैं कहीं से भी।
Dear scholar, Mr. Riju Gangoli, I can understand what you are saying, but your international friends won't be able to.
Yeah. So actually, we can put our project to our terrace or building up at the building, and it will produce the power and give us the output.
Okay, thank you. It is a suggestion for all the researchers to note down all the questions which the session chairs are asking you, because they will improve your and clarify your concepts later on when you are improving your research or you are pursuing more research. Okay?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
No more question from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to request everyone if they can just share their or turn on their videos. I would like to see your happy faces so that I can just click the pics and add it in our proceeding. So we're gonna print it in our proceeding. So that's why I need all your happy faces. So I would request everyone to please turn on their videos so that I can see you. Okay, other fellows also, if it is possible for them to turn on the videos, that would be great. It would just take 30-second time to have a photo. Okay, so let me thank you, Ira ma'am. Not an issue, Arka ma'am. Aznida, Dr. Kavita, Muhammad, if they can share the screen. Okay. Can you just show the like sign of victory so that I can take a few more pics like this? Yes, Dr. Kavita ma'am. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much. We're going to start our next session tomorrow. That would be session 3. So those who would like to be part of that session as a listener, they can click on the same Zoom link and join from 11 a.m. onwards Indian time. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining and participating in IMCCRT conference. Soon you will get a certificate of participation and proceeding on your email. You can coordinate with the concerned person to whom you are communicating with if you have any queries. So thank you so much. Done for the day. We will meet tomorrow again. Thank you, Javier ma'am, for your valuable time.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Thank
support
you.
always.
Thank you. Take care, all of you, and Happy New Year.
Yeah.